This guy is an absolute stud, right? I've known him for probably about a decade in the network marketing world, and he's made a lot of money in the network marketing industry. He's built some incredible teams. This guy's one of the best speakers and trainers that you're going to hear out there. His dad is actually a legend in the industry of network marketing. And in addition to all of that, that wasn't enough. He's actually also a solar professional, probably one of the best solar sales professionals in the industry. And he just hit mentor with Powur in record time. Okay. So he got started, when we had that Claremont event, about a week after that's when he got started. He had some challenges, but he started door knocking, started making phone calls, and guess what? He just hit mentor over the weekend. So you guys are in for a treat. We're recording this information because we want to make sure that you get all of this value, right? And you don't want to just watch it today. You want to watch it over and over, right? All of the trainings you want to watch over and over until you know it, where the mind forgets, the body remembers. You just know what you're doing, right, in any given case. So with that being said, guys, let me introduce a good friend of mine, brand new mentor with Powur, Mr. Robert Hollis.
Hey, brother, can you hear and see me okay?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that awesome intro. I'm going to just go ahead and keep that recording and play it over every morning for myself. First off, let me just say that it's a huge honor to be on this call. There's some serious heavy hitters in this company, and it's an absolute honor to be here with you guys. Sorry, I have so yeah, I haven't done training like this for probably over 3 years. So if I seem a little rusty, JC told me last night, so my nerves are kind of going right now, but I just love mentoring and helping people. And with this company, guys, I honestly don't think a lot of you know how honestly lucky you are. I was in the industry for 3 years selling at probably a 4 or 5, and I sold over 200 systems before I realized how much money I was leaving on the table. And the fact that the system is here with this company and the trainers that you have, I honestly don't think a lot of people realize what kind of opportunity you have here. There's a lot of people that just haven't had to go through the grindstone and go out there and learn. And you have mentors like JC and Jonathan and Jonathan Budd that are here to teach you exactly what to do. I never had that in solar. I had a good mentor that taught me how to sell solar, but I didn't have somebody teach me exactly the ins and outs. So I just want to thank everybody, Lewis, that's helped me out a lot, JC, Jonathan. It's an absolute honor to be here, be a part of this company. It did take me a little bit to get going. Had a little troubles in the very beginning, but I'm starting to get momentum now. And I want to share with you guys probably one of the most important trainings for anybody who's not a mentor or anybody that is a mentor that's actually struggling with the people on your team. It's this training, guys. I'm telling you what, if you really take this to heart, this training alone made me over $1 million combined commission before the age of 30. This is serious stuff. And it's also very old school stuff. The training that I'm going to talk about, believe it or not, goes all the way back to the Bible. And I'm not here to touch on your spiritual beliefs, but I'm here to tell you that it worked back then, it worked in the past, and it's working now. Everybody's always heard, don't be an expert, keep it simple, stupid. We always hear these phrases over and over again, but what I want to go into is actually the psychology and what to say and how to say it, okay? So first off, don't be an expert, okay? If you don't have years of experience in solar or years of experience in closing, you guys, there's people that are going to watch this training that are on this team that no doubt in my mind will be able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year without doing anything other than following the system, okay? This is one of my favorite trainings. I've recorded this training. I don't know if this one will be better. I deleted it because I didn't think it was good enough. I'm kind of like JC. I'm a perfectionist. And I'm so glad, even though I'm nervous right now, my hands are shaking, the fact that JC just kind of put me on this call, because how many people know that everything that you want in life is right outside of your comfort zone. Is knocking doors fun? Is knocking doors scary? Sonia's on this call. She got a bill from somebody from BMI, and me, I'm an inside sales rep. How many times I've walked into a stranger's home and sold them something is upwards of the thousands, but you could tell it was her first time. She was pacing out front of the door and she kept going over and over in her head, you know, what I should say to this guy. And it was kind of how I feel right now. I almost kind of chuckled because to see how new she was and how nervous she was, but guess what? She did it. She did it. Okay. And I just encourage everybody to just get out of their comfort zone. So with the training, so this is called Expert from Afar. I don't have fancy PowerPoints like JC, but I just drew on a piece of paper. If anybody's taking notes, I want you to draw this out. So circle on the top would be the prospect. Down here would be you. You got big money eyes because you're jacked out of your mind. And here is the expert. Okay. I'll run through it really quick and then explain it. So between you and the prospect, there is trust. Okay. Your job is to edify the expert to get respect. And let me go into this a little bit more. I just wanted to show that because I don't have a PowerPoint. When I said it goes all the way back to the Bible, there's a statement that a prophet is not welcome in his own hometown. Okay. What I mean by that is you have probably a lot of friends and family that trust you. They know you, but they might not respect you. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, respect you as a solar pro, respect you as an entrepreneur. Let me tell my story, guys. For those of you that don't know, I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of high school my freshman year to try to become a professional skater. When the bills weren't getting paid, I'm not proud to say it, but I started doing some illegal things to make money. Now they're legal, but I'm not proud of it. And I got caught up with that, excuse me, and ended up going to jail. So here I got out of jail. I was 22 years old. I had no work experience. I had no education and now a criminal background. Do you think that my friends and family would have respected me or that if I came to them with an opportunity? No. Hey, Robert's the guy, man. If you want to go party with him, he's a fun guy. He's crazy, jumps off roofs on his rollerblades. You know, that's the guy that I am, but not a business person. So what your job is, and don't take that wrong. You know, we've heard a lot on this call, you know, JC said it, Joel said it, a lot of people that strangers will support you before your friends and family a lot of times because they just don't have that respect there yet for you. Okay. But it's fine because of this formula. When it says a prophet's not welcome in his own hometown, they always went out 2 by 2 because their only job was to edify the expert. Write that in big, bold letters, edify the expert. If you don't know what edify means, it's just talking very highly about somebody, okay? Just like JC just did with me. You know, I could say, look, you got to meet this guy named JC. He's one of the most professional, sharp businessmen I have ever met. He loves giving back to people. He loves helping people. And he's very, very busy. So please be early. Do not waste this guy's time. Do not make me look bad because of your respect for him. This guy is serious. The fact that he's taking time out of his day to talk to me and you is an absolute honor, and I cannot wait for you to meet him. That's how you edify somebody, guys. So if you properly edify the expert, then all of a sudden they have respect for that person, even though they're an absolute stranger, okay? And honestly, guys, your job is to say as little as possible to as many people as you can. I'm going to pick on some people. How many people have ever approached somebody going, Oh my gosh, you got to check out this new company called Powur. They're the fastest growing company in America right now as far as solar, and they got the best commissions in the planet. We just got written up in a magazine, and also that we were B rated, so we like to give back to people. And they have the best red line in the world. You can actually get paid a couple levels deep, and the solar panels are the best thing in the world. You need to check this out. No. See, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no because you're not the expert and you try to make yourself the expert. I'm going to go one step further after I'm done with this training. This is going to extremely, extremely help you guys recruiting. Okay. Your job, once again, is just to edify the expert. The simpler that you can make this, ladies and gentlemen, the better you're going to be off. One of the best as far as objections, because as soon as I start saying this stuff, peak of interest could be, just like the training in the back office is, have you noticed that your solar bill has gone up every single year? One of my favorite ones, the $1 million question. You can look up my dad's training. This has worked for years and years. Can you do me a huge personal favor? Because now all of a sudden the psychology is running in their head is, oh my gosh, is he going to ask me to help him move again? Oh, he doesn't need some extra money again, does he? But can you do me a huge personal favor? Do you know anybody that would be interested in cutting their electric bill in half? And shut up. Well, yeah, why? What's this about? Edify the expert. Look, I'm so excited. I just got involved with a solar company. I'm so excited about it, but I'm new. I'm just learning. You need to meet Lewis. You need to meet JC. And of course, they have objections or questions. You want to know how to handle any objection. I don't know. All I know is tell a story. You can literally handle any objection, any comeback with that one statement. I don't know. All I know is I've seen these guys post bills and $300 electric bills turn to $150. How do the panels work? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. All I know is we did 20 plus installs last week. Are you making any money yet? I told you I'm new. I don't know. All I know is there's some guys making some serious money, and I'm fortunate enough to work with them. You got to meet this guy. Your only job, guys, is to get that electric bill, get their email, and edify an expert. That is literally all you should be doing. There are people right now on this call that are struggling because you are overcomplicating it. See, JC can attest to this. When I flew out to California to meet him, I haven't seen him pitch solar. I didn't go through the training videos. I didn't do anything. Wait a second. So my only job as somebody that's not a mentor is get the electric bill, edify JC, and JC is going to build the proposal. He's going to jump on Zoom and explain everything, close them, finance the deal, and put all the paperwork together for the office, and I get 50% commission. You should watch this training video. No, I don't need to. I got it. And there's some people that you're just overcomplicating it. I love telling this story. I always remember it because I was fortunate enough, just like everybody on here, to have a mentor of a good presenter. Okay, that is probably one of the most valuable assets any company can have. Not only any company, but you as an independent rep. Okay, I was blessed. My father was an extremely good presenter. Okay, and going back to my story of the high school dropout stoner skater, I'm telling you guys that story because if I can do it, you can do it. This company, this training, this system has took away your excuse. I've heard JC said this before. You can never, ever tell somebody the rest of your life that I never had a shot to become successful. We took that excuse away from you. If a high school dropout, stoner skater, I was the biggest introvert you would ever meet in your life. I'm now finally done with my jitters, but me and JC have talked about this is, I had extreme anxiety problems to even talk to strangers. What we're always told, don't talk to strangers. Money doesn't grow on trees. And I was the most introverted. I had my little circle of friends and I was forced to get out of my comfort zone. And I'm telling you guys, if you saw, I used to do trainings that actually showed videos of me, 20 plus years ago. I had a shaved head, wearing a big old necklace because I thought it was cool. I'm like 5'7". I'm wearing XL shirts. If you looked at me back then, that would be somebody that you would not put your bet on. You would not bet on me to become successful. But I followed this system. All I did is just put people in front of a good presenter. Promoted, edified the expert. And it really dawned on me one day, and this will help with your recruiting. I'm going to go into a different part. Is a meeting's over. The guy that I taught did it perfect. He edified, the expert, brought his uncle there. And afterwards, he goes, listen, my uncle's interested. This guy, he's a business owner. He knows everybody in California. If he gets in, he's going to kill it. Okay, I'll talk to him. And he walks over and says, this looks like an awesome opportunity, but I got some questions. Okay, how does the product work? I don't know. I'm a high school dropout. I'm definitely not a scientist or doctor. All I know is there's a bunch of people in this room that have testimonials how the product works. We have a lot of video testimonials, but I have no clue how it works. If you need to know, you need to talk to this guy named Mike. He's the product specialist. He knows all the ins and outs. Don't be careful because he'll talk to you for 4 hours about how the product works and phytonutrients and shatter. I can't even freaking spell the words. You just need to talk to him. Okay, fair enough. Well, how does the comp plan work? Because if I'm going to do this, I want to make 10 grand. How can I make 10 grand as fast as I possibly can a month? I'm sorry, I don't know, dude. I'm a high school dropout. I'm definitely not a mathematician or accountant. All I know is the more people that I bring to this office, the bigger my checks get. But if you want to know how the comp plan works, you need to talk to Tony. He invented it. He's a math whiz. He'll go through every different part of the comp plan and explain to you exactly how it works. Didn't they just say that you just became a diamond in the company? Yeah, I'm so juiced. How much money are you making? I used to, believe it or not, guys, I used to carry around, I don't know if JC ever used to do this, I would carry around pay stubs of my paycheck. We got paid every week, and I purposely wouldn't cash one check until another week went by. So I had an actual physical check on the pay stub. Well, how much you make in a month? Oh, I made 4 grand last week. Done. I'm in. I'm signing up right now. I thought you had questions. Look, dude, you're telling me you're making 4 grand a week and you don't even understand how the product works or how the comp plan works. If you can do it, I can do it. I'm in. See, and that's all I did. I rode that wave all the way till I was forced to get on stage and start learning how to be a presenter. Some of you guys, you want to jump into a spotlight too soon and be the expert. If you could just dumb it down and be so simple and just edify somebody like JC or whoever your mentor is until they get to the point, I'm seeing people on here, Marvin's taking notes where I'm going, Marvin, look, dude, I've done like how many deals with you? It's time. How many times have you watched me present? Oh, I usually like 10 times. Have you been taking notes? Yeah. I'm too busy, bro. It's time for you to step it up. That's when you know it's time for you to step up, is when your mentor says, dude, look, I've done too many presentations for you. I can help you. Maybe we'll do one together that I can help answer your questions. But I feel honestly, that's one of the biggest killers to success, ladies and gentlemen, is people try to be the expert too soon. They want to jump in that role where I'm geared different. Hey, if I can sit back and just edify the expert enough to the point where I can make money, I would just rather do that. That sounds a little bit more easy. Because going back to this, I'll give you one more example, right? How many people have a wife, husband, significant other, friend, that you told them something over and over and over again. And soon as they hear it from somebody else, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I've been telling you this. I see some people laughing. See, that's the point of this, okay? Is to just edify the expert. Let them do the work. Keep it simple because it'll go back if they ever decide to join the company, okay? There's 3 things people go through when looking at a business opportunity, or maybe even could say looking at solar. 1 is it documented? 2 is, does this make sense? And 3 is, can I or do I want to do this? Okay, I mix them up. The first one is does this make sense? Wow, we're going to put solar panels on your roof and collect energy from the sun. Duh. I don't think there's anybody in America right now would say that solar doesn't make sense, okay? Unless you're in the oil industry like my family, they're just scared and afraid because they know everything's going to start to go solar, okay? The second one is it documented? Of course, you guys realize when we post those photos of our proposals, the people that we signed up, we're not doing that to brag, or we're not doing that to show off. Why we're doing that is to document that solar does work. Hey, here's somebody with a $300 bill, their solar payment's $150. Documented. Here's this documentation. One of my favorite lines that I learned from my dad is documentation beats conversation. Every time. That's why I used to carry the checks in my pocket. That's why we post those solo ads, because we're documenting that solar works. The last one is, can I or do I want to do this? So going back to the, sorry, I don't know if JC's on here. I invited a couple people. Going back to my story, okay, if people are telling you no, they're not necessarily saying no to the business opportunity, or they're not necessarily saying no to a solar. They're saying, no, I don't want to do what you just did to me. Does that make sense to everybody? So going back to my story, this guy's looking at me going, so wait a second. I forget even the guy's name. We'll say John. All John did was ask me for a huge personal favor. Then he edified somebody, put me in front of that person. They answered all my questions. They did the presentation. Heck, this sounds simple. This sounds easy. I think I can do this. See, one of the biggest reasons why I always tell my story is there's a lot of people, and I know even with JC, okay, and I'm not picking on JC here, but I know I know there's fact. I've never met any, but I know there's a lot of haters out there right now for JC, because they're looking at him going, well, of course JC's successful in Powur. He had a group before. He had a network before. He's a successful business person. Of course he could be successful in Powur. I'm not like JC. And that's your excuse for not being successful. See, why I tell my story, I don't know too many people that had no work experience, no education, and a criminal background. And all I simply did was surround myself with positive people. These Monday calls, guys, it's Jim Rohn said it the best, is you got to work harder on yourself than you do your business. You got it. You're the most expensive, or another way to put it is, your mind is only like a parachute. It only works unless it's open. You gotta constantly feed yourself. You know, the biggest joke of me is I've been to the school of hard knocks. Honestly, what it was is my schooling was surrounding myself with people like JC and just listening to them over and over and over and over. People always said, oh my gosh, you're so blessed. You're so good at presenting. You have no idea. I sat in the front row. This is old school, before Zoom. I sat in the front row and probably, I'm not even joking, guys, watched over 1,000 presentations. I knew exactly where the jokes were. I knew exactly what I would mess up a couple times because I knew that the presenter was going to set up a joke and he paused and I would start laughing. Oh, I mean, wait a second, a funny joke's coming. And I'd laugh at the stupid joke every single time. It just got ingrained in my head. Where, just like JC said, is I've done so many presentations, you know, I'm just the master of the mundane. And the only way you're going to learn that stuff is by edifying somebody else and just shutting up. You have an opportunity. Some of the mentors with this company that I've heard on these calls are incredible, above average people. And you have the ability and privilege to listen to them do what they do best. There's some people that would pay to jump on a JC with JC or Lewis to listen to them pitch somebody and close them solar. You guys realize that? And the only thing you have to do to get that privilege is to get yourself an electric bill and edify them. I mean, going back to what I first said, some of you guys, I'm jealous. You shouldn't have an opportunity like this. You need to go out there and grind your ass off, excuse my language, go grind your ass off and get beat up and suffer before you're able to get a 175 red line. Nobody gets that. I've been in the industry for a long time. You know, there's people that are pissed off about Powur. Sorry, I'm getting a little passionate now. Because you're not supposed to just tell everybody what the red line is. You're not supposed to give openers 50% of the commission. That's not how this business works. They're supposed to go out there and get their butt kicked, knocking doors and setting appointments and cold calling constantly for what? Every time you get a sell, you get $500? Woohoo, good job, keep going. That's how this industry works. But you guys have the opportunity not only to get 50% commission on the best red line there is, but then listen to expert mentors do what they do best. Oh, I wish 3 years ago I knew about this. I know JC, I think it was been about a year, a little over a year ago, calls me up. Hey man, you know, I'm really thinking about getting into solar. I know you've kicked butt in solar. You know, I just got some questions for you. Hey, I'm looking at this company called Powur. Can you look at it? No, I'm too busy, you know, start my own thing with water. Oh, geez. Talk about timing, right? So I went off there a little bit, guys, but I hope my point is getting across here. Is if you guys just focus on keeping it simple and saying as little as possible to as many people as you can, edify the expert. There's people on here without a shadow of a doubt. You can make 100 grand this year. I know it's June, but this year you can make 100 grand by just edifying the expert. It blows me away if you really even think that, you know, you're doing one sale a month as a solar pro on an average commission of $6 grand. What is that? $24,000 a month by selling one system a week. You realize that you're now in the 3% of the United States population? Most people don't know that. Only 3% of the population in America make over 250 grand a year. And all you got to do is go out there and get one sell a week. Guys, it's just that simple. So I've gone through this training pretty fast. I know usually these calls go about an hour, but maybe I'll do one more with you guys. I forget the lady's name. I'm just kind of in the zone, but she kind of talked about this. But how many people have ever heard, you know, if your why is not big enough, you know, you're not going to be successful, or if your why doesn't make you cry? And I might need a volunteer on this training. So I forget the lady's name. JC, can you help me? She did an amazing training. She talked about the
Parna.
Huh?
Parna?
Yeah, Parna. Yeah. She crushed it, man. She was, see, I just want, even though I'm a mentor now, I just want to give her some electric bills just to see how she pitches, man. But she talked about a little bit. So it's the what, the why, or the how and the why. Okay, so this is typically how people work. They work from the outside going in. Okay, what do I got to do? Well, that's pretty simple. You got to sell some solar. Well, how do I do it? Oh, okay, jump on some trainings. And they constantly go back from this what to how. My last company, if you guys look up right now on YouTube, just search in Robert Hollis Jr. live lead calls. People always say, well, what do I got to do? Well, we got to share this amazing product. We got to sell this product. Well, how do I do it? Okay, well, here is everybody wants a script. And I get back and I have a script. I really don't believe in scripts too much because you sound like a robot. I understand those peak of interest, you notice why your electric bill's gone up every year. Can you do me a huge favor? I mean, peak of interests are nice, but scripts, whatever. Okay, so then I do the script. Well, how exactly do I say it? Well, what do I got to do? Well, here's how you get leads on the internet. This is how you do this. So I would literally do live lead calls twice a week for an hour, just cold calling, recording it to take everybody's excuse away. Well, what do I do? Well, how do I say it? What do I do? How do I say it? And people keep bouncing back and forth from that instead of focusing on their why. Okay, everybody's heard this, that the what and how will come when the why is big enough. And this goes back, if you guys have never read the book Science of Getting Rich by Dr. Wallace D. Wattles or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, when I talk about a why, and I might pick on some people here, it's, well, why are you doing solar? Well, I want to make a bunch of money. No, that's not a why, guys. You have to have something emotionally attached to it. What are you going to do with that money? See, when I first started in this industry, going back to my story here, I'm a broke star skater. My goal was to have a BMW M3. And I literally, where the office was to where I was staying, the BMW dealership was on the drive there. Every day I would look over and try to find it. At least once a week, the salespeople there just got tired of me. I would go down and look at that thing. I was young back then. Now my goals are a lot different. I have children now. I have a family. I want to leave behind a legacy. But back when I was 23 years old, all I wanted was an M3. That thing was $72,000. I looked at it every day on my computer. I drove by that office every day. I sat in that thing. I would close my eyes and visualize what the leather smelled like. I would get to the point where my heart rate would go up because I wanted it that bad. 90 days later, I was able to walk on that dealership and finance that thing. Okay, so I want to pick on some people here. Is there any parents? Anthony, I seen you raise your hand right away. Okay, can you unmute yourself? I want to try something with you real quick.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Good, man. Good.
So how old are your kids?
My daughter is 2 years old. She just turned 2 months ago.
2 years. That's such a great age. My daughter just turned 5 and now she's talking back. So no, no, daughters are the best. Okay. So I want to put you in a situation real quick. Okay. Imagine tonight, it's starting to get dark and you realize that you guys are out of toilet paper. Okay. Right. So you rush over to the local grocery store, maybe it's a corner store, whatever, because you got to have toilet paper, right? And the sun's going down. You basically leave there as the store is closing, parking lot's kind of empty. And you get up to your car, and as soon as you get up to the car, a guy jumps from outside the other side of the car, and this dude's burly. I mean, we're talking 300 pounds, 6 foot plus, tattoos on his neck. Nothing against tattoos. And I used to say wearing a bandana, but now it's just everybody wears masks in California, I guess. And he jumps out and he says, "Give me your keys." Now, there really is only a couple options for you, right? One is that fight or flight. Now, do you have any, I'm glad JC didn't participate on here because his answers might be different, but do you have any like MMA training or been in a lot of fights?
No,
No, right? So
I don't compare myself to JC. So no.
yeah, no, okay. So looking at a dude that's like 6 foot plus, tattoos, buff as hell. What do you think your chances are if you decided to fight this guy? What are your chances?
Pretty minimal unless I brought out my shank and
Yeah, unless you
try
bought
to
a shit.
survive.
Right?
Yeah.
So pretty minimal. Like what would you say percentage? Like 5% that you could take the guy down?
Yeah.
About 5%. Okay.
Right.
So really at this point, you got a couple options, right? One is just, hey, whatever, here's my keys, you know what I mean? Or see if you can run back to the store and get safety, right? So you're in that fight or
No,
flight mode, or
I'm
just,
there by myself, right? Not with my daughter or my wife.
huh?
Am I there by myself or
You're by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
pretty much probably just try to run out of there. Just, hey, a lot of cars have low jack and navigation. Just give them the keys, right?
Right.
Okay. So the chances of you, I mean, we're talking 5%. I mean, that's pretty low. You're going to get your ass kicked, excuse my language, if you try to take this guy on, right? Okay. Same situation. You already asked the question. You go down there and this time you bring your wife or your daughter, your 2-year-old daughter, because your wife's in the shower, whatever. And you're walking out of the store, but this time when the guy jumps around the car, he grabs your daughter by the hair.
Oh, bringing out the shank and straight for whatever the neck or something.
How you don't have any MMA training?
Oh no, I'm going for it, man.
What are you gonna do?
And he's not touching my daughter.
Well, how are you gonna do it? Explain to me how you're gonna do this. You got no
Figure it
MMA.
out. Figure it out as we go.
You're just gonna make it freaking happen, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's got a hold of your daughter. You're not thinking about he might put you in the hospital. You're not thinking about that he's gonna take you out. You're going to do absolutely whatever it takes to protect your daughter, aren't you?
Yes.
You're not thinking about what you're going to do or how you're going to do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Can you almost, if you really put yourself in that situation, you almost kind of feel like something in your gut, almost just the visualization of a guy grabbing your daughter?
Yeah, it gives me the chills right now.
It gives you the chills. See, you have a why. That's something that's not going to stop you. You're either going to end up in the hospital or save your daughter's life because that's what a father does, right?
Oh yeah. And if you don't mind, Robert, can I kind of just share briefly my story of last year when I got started with Powur
Absolutely.
and partnered with JC. So obviously a lot of people, well, some people know my story that my mother-in-law was murdered on January of last year, my first day on the solar field. And I had to find something where I could work from home. Well, January and February.
Anthony, there you cut out.
Who was going to help us take care of my daughter. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You cut out there for a second.
Okay. And then March, the COVID shutdown happened. So basically I lost my job from coaching soccer. So March and April were very tough. Maxed out on my credit cards. Didn't have any income coming in. My wife took on bills. I was having suicidal thoughts. My why was my wife and my daughter. So luckily JC posted a Facebook video regarding solar and Powur. So I reached out to him and I said, I have nothing, man. Usually people burn their ships. Well, my ships were burned by COVID and the shutdown. So I just got to work and made it happen. And I had to switch my situation around, and going from those very hard times, that we went through last year. And I mean, JC's posts literally changed my life, literally, because again, I was very close to having suicidal thoughts. Oh, I did have thoughts, but yeah, man. So that was my why, and it's still my why, because I don't want to go back to that situation or want anybody to go through that situation I went through. So JC, thank you, man.
Anthony, thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope everybody listening to that, I pray to God, things don't have to get that bad for you to get serious. JC can attest to this. unfortunately, in entrepreneurship, you hear story after story after story like that. And it motivates me. Thank you for sharing that. I remember we did there used to be an event called Network Marketing Pro, and they would have just the top of every different company at this one event. And guy after woman walked the stage. Hi, my story is I used to be homeless. Hi, my story is I used to be a drug addict and lost everything I own. Hi, my story is I used to be in jail. Over and over. And I remember the guy that was hosting the event, he goes, I just want to make this clear. You don't have to go to jail, be a drug addict, or be homeless to become a millionaire. And everybody laughed and goes, so the next guy up, hi, my name's Robert. I used to be a high school dropout. I went to jail. Because there's something in here when you get your back against the wall, when the chips are down, is when you really start to fight. Go ahead, JC.
To you, by the way, Robert, fire. We are getting people here, in the comment section talking about how fire it is. And obviously, Robert is addressing a lot of the team building, the recruiting. That's what he's done all his life, kind of like myself. So I'm very excited I'm over here taking notes. But one of the things you talk about your why, and Anthony, by the way, thank you for sharing that story. I didn't know it was to that point, bro. Wow. I've heard you say that this opportunity changed your life and that post changed your life. And I was like, okay, cool. But now it has a different meaning, right? For the rest of you guys, that is inspiration or desperation, right? People make drastic changes because of inspiration or desperation. Inspiration is much better to do it from than desperation, where you've got no other way to go, right? And so COVID hit me hard too. Some of you guys know my story. But if there's anybody here that's ever having, thoughts like that, reach out, right? This is not only a team, this is a family, right? And so we'll make it work, right? And rock bottom, that's a great place. That's a solid foundation to start building on, right? You're at rock bottom, only place to go is up, man. So make sure that, hey, if you're not there, and hopefully nobody's at rock bottom, do it from inspiration before it gets to desperation, right? So anyways, I'll give it back to you, Rob.
Hey, thank you for saying that. And that, back up, that's what I said. I just pray to God that you don't have to get to that situation to start taking this serious. And I see the time here. So really in closing, I mean, that's why I'm here, to even piggyback on what JC said, is that, I've been with companies that I was just the lone wolf, right? I was out there just hustling, selling, doing what I did. One of my best years in solar, I made over $300,000 that year, but I was miserable because you become who you hang around. If you think if I walked over to JC right now, it wouldn't be hard for me to grab him by the shirt or by the shoulder and pull him down off the chair. But how hard would it be to lift him up? That's the key, the secret sauce that all these other solar companies are going to be sitting around scratching their head, wondering what happened. The secret really with Powur is we're all lifting each other up. We're all helping each other. We're all motivating each other. I haven't done a training like this for over 3 years. I even told JC when I started with Powur, look, hey, I just want to go out and sell. I don't want to jump on no trainings. I don't want to do any of this stuff anymore. And it was the first time that I got on this Monday call and listen to JC go off and inspire all you guys. It sparked something in me again. It got me excited again to really engage and help other people. When you focus on helping people, in return, you have success. And if you can bring a whole crew with you, it's one of the best feelings in the world. Money is one thing, but when you're a part of a team that's helping change the world, it's you can't even explain the feeling. I've been there before. I know JC's in the middle of it right now. I mean, every day he probably wakes up thanking God for just how blessed he is to be with this company and have such an amazing team and support system. Money is one thing, but having that every day of something that you are a part of, that you're doing, is all the world. So guys, I'll leave it with that is do please find out what your why is. and focus on that and make it a clear, defined goal. If you haven't done so, read the book, Science of Getting Rich by Dr. Wallace D. Wattles. I have probably read that book 30 times and I'm still learning from it. I try to listen to it at least once a year because it sounds crazy, but most people don't realize that 90% of success is right up here. Right up here. If you can get this right, and like I said, just focus on the system. There's people on here, honestly, they'll make 100 grand this year and all they're going to do is edify the expert and you won't even know what their name is. So with that said, JC, it was an honor. It was a privilege to be on this call. I thank you so much for inviting me. I thank you for everything that you've done for me and getting me to Powur. I really, really appreciate it. So back to you, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Wow. Guys, that was powerful, man. So Robert, thank you very much, man. People are blowing up here on the chat. I'm getting some text messages. We're going to have you back on here very, very soon. And next time that I get him out here is, Robert, how many sales did you make? I think you said in the 6-month period or 12-month period with another company?
In 12 months, I did a little over 120.
120 sales in 12 months with another company, solar sales, guys. So next time that we have him on here on the Powur Hour, we're gonna drill him on the sales side of solar. You never know what we're gonna do on the Powur Hour. Don't leave yet. We're gonna close out in 2 minutes. You never know what we're gonna talk about in the Powur Hour, but this was some powerful stuff. We didn't tell you what it was gonna be. We just told you it was a special guest, and boy, was it a special message and a special guest. So little bit of advertising, if you will. Remember, tomorrow we have the business showcase. If you are anywhere within 200 miles of California, show up. We got my buddy Tanner out in Las Vegas. He's driving out here. You know what I mean? We got people. I think Mr. Robert Hollis, I think, is going to drive out here also from Arizona. He's tying up some loose ends out there to make it happen, right? So if you guys want to meet this man, you know what I mean? He's going to be at the event tomorrow, right? And then, and other than that, guys, let's go out there and crush it. I appreciate all of you guys. I just dropped the podcast at 9 a.m. on leadership and the law of attraction with the CEO of the LA Tribune. That was a powerful message. Here's the thing. Here's a couple of podcasts I recommend. Okay. Dropping Bombs by Brad Lee. Valuetainment. Okay. With Patrick Bet-David. That's an incredible podcast. Max Out with why am I forgetting his name? Ed Milet. And then of course, Driven Not Given, which is my podcast. The reason why I mention this, because Robert mentions about personal development. Personal development comes in many forms. I'm a big fan of The Science of Getting Rich. I'm a big fan of How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was the very first book. I have it here in my office somewhere. That is the very first book I ever bought on personal development in 2001. I still have that book in this room, okay? I've showed it on the trainings before. But podcast is another way of getting that value. There you go. Think and Grow Rich as well, a classic. So podcast is a way of getting that value. You just got to find the right podcast, learn from the right people, right? And so I just firmly believe that the things that you want, if it was possible for you to have the things that you want, being the person you are today, you would have already had them. So if you don't have them, it's because you're not the person, because success is something we attract by the person we become. Guess what? The personal growth is what we've got to do to become that person, to attract that person that's more confident, that has better communication skills, that has better leadership. You want to build a bigger team? You know, you got to learn how to be a better recruiter. You got to learn how to be a better leader. You got to learn how to inspire others. You got to be inspired yourself. Fill in the blank. So what if every month you improve by 1%? That's 12% improvement in a year. That's tremendous. Most people are going backwards instead of going forwards. Instead of improving, you know what I mean? They're I don't know what the word for the opposite of improving would be, but you get what I'm saying, right? I'm drawing a blank now. But most people are not improving every month. So I recommend that you guys do that. I appreciate you, Robert. Let's go out. Here's the deal. You guys hear me say it. This is the first day of the next strong. I don't have weeks. I have strongs. We're going to go strong. We've got meetings today. We're going to close deals. Who's going to close deals and who's going to be there tomorrow? Let's see it. So I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys tomorrow at the event. Talk soon.